This kid's fire.
What's that? What's that, brother? What's that? What's that, brother? Brother, what's that, brother? What's that? What's that, brother? Brother, what's that? What's that, brother? What's that? What's that, brother? Brother, what's that, brother? What's that? What's that, brother? Brother,
Yes, people, welcome back to another show. Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Smash the likes up. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. We've got the title race show back. I was thinking about changing the title. However, you know what I mean? Maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe we do have a title race. I don't know. Yeah, guys, make sure you guys are smashing up the likes. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel as well if you're new. We are going to get into the title race talk in a little bit, but I do want to get the lads' opinions on last night. Have a little bit of a talk about the Madrid game. I know some of you obviously might have been watching the Liverpool game, but I'm sure you've seen highlights and whatnot. Yeah, my view today, the day after, is basically the same as last night. Sort of expected a loss, expected us to compete. That was disappointing that we didn't compete, but yeah, not really anything different on the scoreline. I predicted a 2-1, so I wasn't too far out there. But Wolfie, man, let me start with you. I don't know how much you saw the game last night, but yeah, what are you making of City right now? Do you just think this is just a natural sort of to be expected given the season we've had, or do you think it was you was expecting a little bit more from City last night? What are you saying?
Yeah, I mean, I was flicking between the two games, and like you, I thought you'd compete a bit more than that. It was almost the case of the task felt too big anyway. I think your fan base was thinking that, and it kind of felt that maybe that was the same thing in there. Was Haaland kind of more rested than he could have played?
No. Well, Pep seems to suggest that it was Haaland that said basically he couldn't play by the sounds of it. So I think he's got a bit of a knock. I think he'll be okay for Liverpool, but I think he just said he's got too much pain in his knee or something.
Yeah, I think, look, the bottom line is you lost it at home. That's the key thing. If you're going to go back to Spain with a goal deficit, Real Madrid are not going to not score at home. And I think for you to have had any chance yesterday, you had to come out of the firing blocks quick and get that first goal to make it an interesting tie. Once that first goal went in, I think it was too much. And Mbappe looks hot, mate. He's starting to click in nicely. His finishes were clean. I've got to say that shithousery for the second goal celebration was right up there with Lewis Skelly, man. When he was describing how he sat, was it Guardiola? I can never say his name. Guardiola down. That was just crazy. So look, it's not one you can be too disappointed with. I think if you're going to be disappointed, it had to be after the first leg.
Agreed.
And now it's a case of where are your focuses? FA Cup probably is your most realistic chance of silverware. So do you go strong in that and then just make sure you tie yourselves in top 5? I think the gap is too big, and You guys can do us a
Yeah.
favor this weekend, mate. You know.
No. The
Catch up.
gap's too big, and two, you can't. City fans can't be talking about winning a title when we just played like that, and we've been so inconsistent. It's ludicrous. You know what I mean? For me, get ourselves back in the Champions League for next year, so top 4, top 5 finish, and then try and go all out for that FA Cup. And like I say, mate, if we can win an FA Cup this season with the season we've had, that is a fantastic year. You know what I mean? For me,
I was just gonna say, LB, the thing is, I think the hope came from your performance against Newcastle at the weekend. That maybe if you put a performance in like that, obviously, you know, no disrespect to Newcastle, but Real Madrid, especially in that competition. And I think maybe that got your hopes up a little bit of hopium going on rather than expectation.
I hear it.
But like, the season, it ain't going to end up being a good one for you guys by your standards. It's a case of dust yourselves off, try and get an FA Cup and move on to next year, I think.
Yeah, I hear it, man. If we can win the FA Cup, bro, I'll be buzzing. You know what I mean? If we can win the FA Cup this year, given the fact that we've been horrendous for large parts of the season, one winning 13, one winning 14 at points. You know what I mean? If we can go and win a trophy, one of the more major ones as well, the FA Cup. Like, I will take that all day long, as long as then we rectify our errors in the summer and go and do the business, you know what I mean, and make the signings. But Potsy, let me bring you in, man.
Sorry, guys, that 1 point. Sorry, Dad, just for Footy Taha just said it in there. Yeah, the other good thing is you ain't doing back-to-back, so Forest is still all right on that one. The Champions League. Yeah. Heritage here, Rams, heritage.
Just give me one, man. Just give me one. I don't care about 2 back-to-back. Just give me one. Bro, I've got to be honest with you. I've seen only goals from last night. I was out all evening and I didn't get a chance to watch any football. So all I can comment is on the Liverpool Villa goals and the Real Madrid City goals. Looked like Mbappe teared you apart on the highlights, if I'm honest with you, mate. It looked like he was on fire. The third goal in particular was unreal, man. That was a brilliant finish. I'm with Wolf here, like the second goal, shithousery. We don't have enough of shithousery, man. And I loved that. And it looked like Man City just got tore apart by him, to be fair. Now, I might be completely wrong, and Man City might have been peppering the goal the other end, and it's just not showed it. But from what I could see, Mbappe was looking pretty special. I think Vinny could have scored from a bozo moment from you guys as well. It was a good save in the end. But look, I look at the situation, and Manchester City, I think, need to just go all out for the FA Cup to try and win silverware now. You're not going to drop out completely like 8th and 9th in the league, in my opinion. I still think you're going to get into the Champions League. I think that top 5 places has probably helped Man City as well, just in case you were to slip towards 5th. So I think if you were, to be honest, have an absolutely diabolical season like some of your fans are saying you have, and still win silverware and get in the Champions League, mate, most people, you could end up having a better season than Arsenal. You could end up winning an FA Cup, getting into the top 4. Like, people will say, "Oh my God, Arsenal are in a title race till the end." Let's say, and they come second. What a season! I'd rather have your season if you're winning an FA Cup and getting top 4. So look, I don't know that you will win the FA Cup. I think you might stink it. I think you might house your way through that, just to kind of get because that's the sort of club you are. You're good enough to win stuff. Manchester City, Man United are another club that could stink their way to a trophy this season, because we've seen it under one of the worst managers I've seen in a long time in Ten Hag. I hope I'm wrong, because I would like personally in the FA Cup somebody not from Manchester to win it. I would love to see someone outside of that win that trophy, but you know, it doesn't always work like that, man. I said that last year, the season before, when we were out of it. So look, as far as Man City are concerned, I think you need to now look at what you can moving forward with this group of players, and then look to rebuild in the summer. You know, you said it the other day, LB, you thought you needed 500 million spent from this January and the summer. You spent nearly 200. Now you need nearly 300 spent in the summer, and go again, because you will do it. Your ownership will do it. Your board will do it. If this was Liverpool or Arsenal, we wouldn't do it. Yeah, Arsenal and Liverpool have been trying to rebuild under the Cronkies and FSG for what feels like forever. So with Man City, you do it quickly. So I don't think you've got anything to worry about hugely as a fan base. If I'm honest, I'm not going to get on that boat. I do think it's been a bad season from what you've seen. Some of these players, they've all dropped off at the same time, bro. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem. You know, that's the problem. And we can't. That's the issue with the players that we've got. Right, is that like, you can carry a Bernardo Silva if your rest of your team's good. You can carry a Gundogan if the rest of it. But the problem is, unfortunately for us, and some people will say this was predictable, and it probably was. You know, we unfortunately, we've had a number of players who have all dropped off. And they've not dropped off I wouldn't say they've all dropped off massively, but they've all dropped off enough where when you play them all, we're just not a good team. So like yesterday, for example, you saw Gundogan and Bernardo Silva in the middle. Nico Gonzalez was basically doing a 3-man job on his own. You know what I mean? Because the other two can't do it. So you can play so the perfect example was Newcastle. We played Gundogan with Nico Gonzalez in the middle, but we didn't play Bernardo Silva in the middle, and it was fine. So we could carry one of them, and Gundogan had a good game. So long as soon as we put 2 of them in there, you can't carry that, and that's unfortunately what's happened. We've had too many players all just drop a bit, and now we're just miles off it. And
I would say 2 players though, LB. 2 players I like: Marmoush and Kuzanov. Decent.
Marmoush is next level,
decent.
Bro. Kuzanov, man, I'm telling you, Kuzanov's going to be a good player.
I think he's going to be quality, that Kuzanov, man. I really like him. He's a bit old school. He's a little bit old school. He's only young, but he's like old school defender. I love that. So.
Do you know a big indicator to show you that Kuzanov will go to the top, right? And this is how you know narratives in football change at the win. Everyone's saying, let's this scrub they bought from after the Chelsea game. Who's this scrub getting yellows, giving ball away? And I just said, everyone just calm down. We live in an era where everyone just wants to banter 24/7. He's just locked up the most informed striker in the league. Like, it's look, Saliba couldn't deal with him. Gabriel couldn't. Van Dijk couldn't. And Kusanov, that's only been here for 5 seconds, dealt with him. You know he's going to be a top. And I agree with you, Potts. I didn't watch none of the City game. I've only seen the goals. But that Newcastle game, for him to look up Isak, he's going to the top. I reckon City have got it hit the nail on the head with him, 100%.
Yeah, Did Rio actually say that?
Apparently, yeah. Rio Ferdinand said he's not going to make it at the top level, which I just think is crazy.
Just too reactionary after half of football. After
Roms, I've been saying this loads recently on this channel, yeah. But you know the mainstream media, yeah, like TNT and all these guys, yeah, they're turning into clickbait merchants. With the stuff that they're saying, and I've been telling the chat, I've been saying it so much recently. I've been saying, oh, these guys, man, they're turning into like YouTubers, bro, with the shit that they're saying. How can you say after 2 games that he's not going to make it at the top level when I actually think he's been pretty decent? You know what I mean? Yes, he made one mistake against Chelsea, recovered extremely well. I thought it was good yesterday. All right, yeah, so Vinny took the ball past him a couple of times. That's Vinny Jr. He's one of the best wingers in the world. You know what I mean? What you expect him to pocket Vinny Jr. at the age of 21, playing out of position? Do you know what I mean? You've got to have some context about it, man. It's crazy.
I think that's childish, man. I really do, because I bet you Rio's never even heard of him before he turned up at the Etihad.
Well, I'd never heard of him.
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. It's like that you are right. They're trying to be clickbait merchants. I think they don't like what us guys do on here, you know, and they realize that people moving away from mainstream, more interested in getting their content from fans and fans' reaction rather than these boring pundits. And they're trying to make themselves in the spotlight. Seeing it with Gary Neville, what he's been saying or not saying about United. Now Rio Ferdinand, that's thrown me, man. Like, especially as he's a defender himself and should be able to see traits within a defender.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Wolfie, and he was out of position, which was mad as well.
You're spot on. That's where the disappointment comes from. Let's say it was Michael Owen speaking about a defender.
Yeah.
He's a bit ditzy. Even that, you can understand it. But Rio, and you play in the same position. I'm sure you had bad games, or maybe for Leeds or West Ham growing up, you would have had a game that, let's say everyone just judged you off a one bad half. It would have been crazy, but you're spot on, Wolfie. The fact
exactly. Imagine Rio Ferdinand's first game for United was against AC Milan, where Kaka just absolutely did him, and I think it was Vidic or someone next to him, made them run into each other, slots it in. You know, would he be making the same judgments off the back of that? It's poor punditry. It's poor.
Yeah, it's a lot of shit. You know what's mad about the FA Cup? Obviously, we're in the 5th round, right? That's on the 1st of March. We got Plymouth Argyle at home. Now we should win that game. Now, if we get through that, the quarterfinals in March, right? The 29th of March, and the semi-finals in April. So if we can make it there, we might even have Rodri back for the semi-final. Do you know what I mean?
You know what it is, LB, as well? The stress on your team is a lot less now, if you want to spin a positive, because this squad has been used to probably 3 games a week for the last 5 or 6 years. Now you're suddenly turning into a 1 game a week team. Obviously, but the FA Cup is on a Saturday, I think, the next round anyway. So it's still 1 a week, minus those midweek fixtures that everyone will have in the Premier League. So in a way, you should expect your squad to get stronger, more rested, something they've not been used to for a long time. Could help you.
Yeah. No, exactly. It should help us, and that means we can finish the season strong. Like I say, for me now, the aim is simple: get top 5. Don't care where you finish in the top 5. To me, it's irrelevant when you finish 2nd or 5th. Yeah, if you get Champions League, get Champions League. Right? I'd like to finish 2nd, better, but I won't lose any sleep over it. Yeah, and give that FA Cup a really, really, really good go. Do you know what I mean? Because, like I say, if we can get a trophy this season and win the FA Cup in a really bad year, then that is, for me, pretty good. You know what I mean? I've got to take that with a W and be like, yo, we can go move in the transfer window now and kick on. You know what I mean? That's like Potsy said. This has been a horrendous season for City by our own standards. But if we win the FA Cup and finish in the Champions League and they don't win anything, he said it himself. City have had the better season. So, that for me is now where our priorities got to lie, man. But yeah,
would you want to see Rodri back this season? Like, being out of the Champions League, not in a title race. What's the kind of mentality of it? Bring him in or make sure he's fully ready, get a good pre-season?
I'm not rushing him back, but if the doctors say he's fine to play, he's recovered, and we've got an FA Cup tie, why not play him? Why would we not? What's the point? Plus, we've got the Club World Cup in June anyways, and he's going to play in that. So, if Rodri's fit, why is he not playing? Do you know what I mean? He's had such a long time. As long as the doctors sign him off, the doctors have said, look, the guy's fine. Here's the scan. His ACL's chill. He's all ready to go. Make sure you bring him in proper. I don't just want him thrown in, but you do this thing. He's training for a couple of weeks, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, start an hour. So blah blah blah. But if he's available for selection, why would you not? 100%.
I'm the same with Saka, bro. If they say, oh look, Saka's all good for the 1st of April, there's no risks. Great. If there is, I don't want to see him till the new year, man. Next season, sorry, because I don't think you can make that risk. And Rodri's the same, bro. Like, he's so important. You've seen this season how pivotal he is, man. I think me and Grizz were talking about this months ago when it happened, saying, oh, this is the worst injury for Manchester City. And in fact, probably one of the worst people to lose in the whole of football, because he changes completely how you play. And we've seen how important he is, man. You've not been able to replace him. And I know you're now calling this guy the baby Rodri or whatever, and he looks all right. But, like, let's be real, he's nothing like Rodri, is he? So you got to be careful with him, man. And I think you can win an FA Cup without Rodri. I do.
Yeah.
I think you can win an FA Cup without Rodri.
I think we can as well. We can as well. Yeah, and
I think we do win the FA Cup. I think City have enough, just like you said earlier, Pot, enough quality just to win it. In my opinion, I'd actually go as far to say either of your clubs. I think it's either Forest or City to win it, because I think Newcastle will shift their priorities. I don't know who they have next round, but I think they're putting.
They got Brighton, I think, aren't they?
Exactly, and I feel like they're putting their all into the Carabao Cup final, and that even showed against their performance against you lot. And I just look at United can normally scum their way to trophy, but I just think even them, they just don't have it in them this year. I could be wrong, but I actually think it's either Forest or City.
I don't know, man. I've said that before, Roms, about Man United. I hate them, man.
And they'll scumbag it. They will.
They are the most scumbaggiest team.
It's true.
The last decade, they've been an absolute mess. And look at what they're winning, man.
But the only thing, my only confidence comes from this season, Potsy. I don't want to shift it onto United, though. They rely on individual brilliance, and the individual they currently have no brilliance. And the two that you could say have it, Ahmad and Mania, are basically out for large parts of this season. So that's why I think it's different this year.
But Ron, I get what you're saying, but just look how it all works out for them. I mean, this year VAR's not in the round; they get an offside goal. Last year VAR was in the semi-finals, and they go through by this much. Coventry player.
Oh, true, man.
It always just scumbags its way out.
Who's there next? Who do they have in the
Fulham?
next round?
They got Fulham at home.
Fulham at home. They're always at home in cups.
They beat them last year, innit, with the Mitrovic controversy.
Yeah. The sending off and whatever.
Yeah. Nah, listen, we got a good goal, man. I think Villa might be the ones that are like underdogs or dark horses or whatever the terminology is, because they've got I think they've got a easier game at home, and they're not looking like they're probably going to get Champions League at the moment. They're on 39 points. They're 4 points behind Bournemouth. They've not won a single Premier League game in the last 5. So Villa might just go, you know what, it ain't looking good for this top 4 race. Let's just go and give everything for the FA Cup. And obviously they've not won a trophy for a while. Listen, we'll get onto that in a second, man. Is anything else you guys got to say on the City or the game last night or anything?
I just think, again, I've only seen Mbappe scores. I've not even seen highlights of the game. When I saw your starting 11, I know you'll know better than me, I'll be in the chat, the City fans. They were saying that Haaland might have just wanted to rest, or he's like you said, he's the one that indicated to Pep. But I think even if Haaland was fit, and I know this sounds crazy, for some reason I just think Pep just wants one over Liverpool. Like I feel like he was resting certain players for the weekend. Maybe I might be a bit biased because it's my team, but I just feel like he kind of threw the towel in. He said, forget the Champions League. Let's get some form back in the Premier League.
I can't see that, Rams.
Listen, I think before the game, I don't think that was the case. But I do think when we got to like the 60th minute, I think he just sacked it off. And the subs that he made in the 70th minute proved that. Because, he brought on McAtee and Kovacic.
Do you know what, LB? Say what you want about De Bruyne. He's still quality. Him and Haaland, to have both of them on the bench, not even one of them start. For me, maybe it's because it involves my club, but that's an indicator. Let's save them for
here now.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Do you think it could derail you, LB, going out of Champions League from a morale perspective? Do you think they might look at it and think an FA Cup beneath us? We're not going to win the league beneath us. Let's just make sure we're fit for this Club World Cup and stuff. I'm thinking about next Sunday myself, mate. So
yeah, I don't know. I don't think it'll derail us. Listen, the thing is, the truth is, right, the main goal, obviously, for the club will be to get Champions League football. And all we need to do there is win 2, lose 1, win 2, lose 1. If you do that, to the rest of the season, you'll get top 5. So I don't really think so. I just want to see us take that FA Cup seriously, man. Because I want a trophy in it. You know what I mean? And to win the FA Cup, and we've only won a couple since 2010, innit? So it'd be nice to win another one. But I don't think it'll derail us. That doesn't mean to say that we'll beat Liverpool on Sunday, because that's Liverpool, innit? But I don't think it'll derail us. And to derail us means that we would have had like loads of confidence and this is a shock. I don't think any City fans are really shocked by what happened last night. I think most people are a bit disappointed. A lot of City fans are disappointed by the performance, but I don't think anyone's shocked. I wasn't shocked. And none of the lads on my panel show last night were shocked. No one was coming on raging and ranting. Everyone was just like, just a bit down, innit?
I think I was shocked by the scoreline, not the result. I didn't think it would be as conclusive. Again, I didn't watch the game though, but when I saw 3-0 and I saw you got a consolation, I thought they'll beat you maybe by a goal margin, but to be 3-0 up that early, I think I was shocked at the scoreline, not the result though. I expected Madrid to win and go through. But I just thought maybe it would not have been that conclusive.
Yeah, it's not even that. For me, the most shocking thing was how early Madrid scored. Do you know what I mean?
First 4 minutes or something.
Yeah. That's you would have expected at least. Yeah,
it was just an absolute killer. And then Stones gets injured 2 minutes later, and it's just like,
where was Edison, man? Like he's in between,
I think that he probably was in a bit of no man's land, but Diaz. I think
it was a good goal, man. I think
Diaz has to deal with that.
Yeah, Diaz is the one I was.
That's unlike him as well.
Yeah,
I mean, a little shithousery on that celebration as well. He gave it.
Yeah, man. He is gonna be like that though, and he finally scoring and doing well with Madrid. But everyone was starting to say it was gonna be a flop. You knew it wasn't gonna be a flop, but yeah, man.
I was saying that Potts was just crazy. You knew eventually it would click.
Of course it's gonna. Yeah, of course it's.
And he's not really playing in his natural position. I still see his strongest position, that Henry one, kind of attacking on the left. Do you know what I mean?
Inverted left.
Yeah,
I think he's like the opposite of Salah. Like Salah, I like Salah when he's like inverted right. You know what I mean? But like they get Mbappe on the inverted left and get him on that Henry, man. When he used to open his body up, it was just cash.
You just knew it was going in. Yeah.
Oh, it's far post finesse.
As soon as you saw him just open his body up like that, and he was like, "Shit, this is going in." But man, Mbappe was good last night. To be honest with you, we got outclassed last night. We have to be humble. We got absolutely cooked.
Let's not forget they have a defensive crisis still. I know Alaba came on late, but they still.
Who did they have at the back last night? Was it Tchouameni and Rudiger or something?
No, Rudiger was there. Asensio, who was very good. Mendy and Valverde, who is just an exceptional football player.
He's unreal, man.
Valverde is,
and he ain't a right back. Exactly.
No, he's an exceptional football player.
You know that old-fashioned saying, a good footballer can play multiple positions, no matter where you play. He's the epitome of that. You play him central attacking midfield, you play him DM, you play him centre mid, right back, left back. He just does a job. I've never really seen Valverde have less than a 7 out of 10. I only watched Madrid in the Champions League though, but I've never seen him have less than a 7 out of 10. Really, he's just so steady.
You know who else was playing, Dan?
Go on.
In that midfield,
Dani Ceballos.
He looks all right.
Hey, he's been
Alright.
balling for them. He's been doing well for them, man. He has. He's been doing well.
All of them last night
Duns
was sick.
Duns always talks about how he's been better than Odegaard. But yeah, look, he doesn't like Odegaard. But look, I always liked Danny Ceballos when he came to us. There was always something there. But he was never going to settle in the team at the time where we were at. I mean, we were never going to look to keep him. And yeah, he's been really good for them, man. He's been really good for them. But listen, it's quite easy to look good in a side like that. I will say that it is quite easy when you've got everything around you set like that. When you're playing with Valverde and Bellingham and Camavinga and Tchouameni and these guys in your midfield, and yeah, it's not too bad, is it? A little bit of service up top to Vinny and Mbappe. Yeah, man. I think Odegaard would love to play with those. He's trying to serve Havertz. It's a bit different. So
I'll tell you what, though, man. Imagine if they got Saliba and Rudiger and Saliba at the back.
Yeah, it's mad. It's mad.
Can you imagine that if they did that, bro?
Trent at right back, Saliba in the middle.
I knew that.
It's crazy.
I thought Wolfie would be the one to say it, but I knew Trent was coming.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But yeah,
he was checking the score. That's why he got subbed off yesterday, Rums. Trent. He's more worried about his future club there.
Don't do that. He got us back into the game. How dare you?
Listen, let me come to some of these super chats, man, and then we'll pick up to Mo for the raid as well. Let me come to these chats, and then we'll speak on the title race, man, because I think we might have one. With the Premier League this season has been crap, yeah, but we might be saved, innit? Built to MLK says settle the beef. Misfits 069 LB versus Luke predictions, bro. I don't know what's going on there, innit? You know what I mean? Let this guy say what he wants, but at the end of the day, I genuinely have no idea what I've done to this guy. I think he's getting upset about a bozo counter, which is crazy. Big up to Ranvir says yesterday's Champions League felt more like a preseason game. No hunger to even try. Pep should have played the younger lads at least. We need more pace at the back. LB. Yeah, bro, I agree, man. We got cooked in it. Sad times, bro. But listen, the pace will come with Huzanov, bro. The pace will come with Huzanov in it. That's where it will come because he's got that pace. And I thought after the first 10 minutes, he done really well, bro. But yeah, man, we might need to reinvest in another centre back this summer if Stones like Ake's going, you know. Yo, big up to JTI as well, coming with the 5 gifted memberships, bro. W's in the chat, guys, for JTI. Big up to you, man. Appreciate the support as always. Smash these likes up, guys. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Roms, bro, are you getting a little nervous? Honestly, bro, are you getting a little? Do you know
the best meme? Do you know the best meme? And I hope all 3 of you have seen it. Chat mail. Do you remember that contestant in MasterChef? He's like, I don't really get nervous. I was starting to feel a bit shaky. Do you know the meme I'm on about?
Yeah, man. Tom Skinner.
Yeah. That's exactly.
I don't get nervous. I'm getting
I can't lie now. You know, I normally come in here with chest and whatnot. I will still say this. I still think win the league, but I'm even starting to crack now because 2 games I said we would win, Everton and Villa, we've not. And I hold my club in high regard. And I thought we would get the result against both of them. Yesterday, the first 10, 15 minutes, again, LB, I'm probably watching your game. Poch, you said you didn't watch it. You said you're flicking it over, Wolfie. But the first 10, 15 minutes, I was really impressed. I was like, we're going to get an early goal here. We're going to get an early goal here.
All over him.
Under at. Jota misses. And the things, people get too emotional. Jota's my favourite forward. That's once in a blue mood. Normally that's going top bins, but it was a horrendous miss. I think it went for a throw-in or maybe a corner, maybe a goal kick. But he put that into Rose Ebrat. But I can excuse that. Then they were very shaky. The minute I saw Disasi starting, I was like, he's a press trigger. That Chelsea fans will tell you. The minute he has the ball, teams just swarm him because he's not good. So Disasi was playing passes off the pitch. So was Garcia. I think they're right. But he's the one who we scored from because he played a pass back. Jota intercepts.
Great assist.
Yeah, exactly. Great pre-assist, should I say, to Jota. Right? And I thought, you know what? Yeah, 1-0 up. We were bombarded in the first 10, 15 minutes. Don't get it twisted. That they were having chance on the transition, but we expected this. Rashford, Rodgers, Watkins, they looked very dangerous on the transition, even in that first 15-minute spell. And I think Tielemans deserved man of the match. He controlled it from start to finish, and he's not the most athletic.
By the way, how good has he been? Exceptional. Free transfer, Free transfer.
The things with him, Potts, yeah, he's not even the most athletic. Yet he was so intelligent. He was reading danger before he was snuffing out danger before he even got there, right? And Gravenberch had one of his more quieter games. He done a number on Gravenberch, right? But after that first 15-minute spell, it was end to end for the rest of the game. End to end. Rashford what Emery's doing with Rashford, I know it's only been 2 games, but he looks like he has a new lease of life, right? The other end, cool. We have McAllister, for me, didn't have the greatest games, but he's the only one that was calming it down because it was very frantic at times. Szoboszlai was playing on the left wing. I know, obviously, some Liverpool fans were angry that Diaz didn't start, but he played 90 minutes, I think, back to back. So he was quite tired. I personally would have started Endo in this game, especially how he ended the Wolves game. I think we needed that experience. And I think Gravenberch and McAllister are now start to feel the fatigue. But they then reply quite quickly with the Tielemans goal, which was very well worked, to be fair. I think on the half volley, it was a good finish. Szoboszlai needs to be clearing that further out. You can't head it back into the danger area. And then they get a goal through Watkins, which for me was a class header. I think he had a lot to do. He had to get in front of his man. We go 2-1 down. I'm still confident because this season, I think we're high in the metrics for the most goals in the second half. So I was still confident we'll go on to win the game, but we still looked open at the same time. That was literally the epitome of a basketball game. And obviously we reply with Trent. I'm there calling my mates out. We've got this now. We're winning this. But still, we're susceptible to these counters. Rashford had a chance. I think Watkins had a chance. Rodgers was just running through our midfield like no one was even there. It's like, oh, this is going to be a tough one. And then at the end, they could have nicked it with Marlon's shot. I don't know if you saw, but he skimmed the post. I bet Arsenal fans probably was celebrating as they saw that shot go past. But the minute I saw it go wide, I was a sigh of relief. But we need to be winning them games. And I think we're starting to crack. I don't know if Van Dijk says Arsenal after the game, but there's an interview where he accidentally says Arsenal other than Villa. Some people saying he says Villa, but it sounds like he's about to say Arsenal. Cracks are starting to appear. And look, we shouldn't make this title race as difficult as we're making it. Look, now we've got City at the weekend where LB knows my thoughts on this, and I think it's vice versa. Ask most City fans, are they confident going to Anfield, regardless of the form we're in? They never are. We've not won there in 9 years for a reason. We've not won there. I'm already saying we're not winning that game. And I think Arsenal beat West Ham.
Ooh, you think so? You think you're not winning?
I said it. Come on, LB. I said this to you for weeks. I've said a draw. I don't think we lose.
A draw.
But I think we only
so a draw will put you on 62 points. Arsenal then win. They're on 56. But who's the game in hand? The Arsenal. The game
they got Chelsea.
It's Chelsea. It's Chelsea, but it doesn't come till March.
Okay.
I have to speak about the Nunes miss though, because
finally. I thought you'd forgotten it.
No. A lot of people
just quickly, Roms, just quickly. Someone, did you see that thing, LB, that Billy put on Twitter? I was howling. Some Liverpool fan put, if you put Darwin Nunez's brain in a dog, it'd fucking moo.
I see that.
So good, man. I was like, he's fucking excellent. Mate, he is absolutely dog shit, isn't he? Wow.
Do you know what, right? So both of them are getting stick, but I don't think Szoboszlai should be getting stick. Yes, you could say he should maybe be shooting, but he puts it on a plate for Nunes. I don't know if you'd have seen the camera angle that's behind Nunes, right?
Yep.
It's harder to miss than score. But again,
you know what the XG was on it?
Say that again?
Do you know what the XG was on it?
0.37 or something.
No,
I think I see
0.89. It's easier to score that than a penalty.
This is what I mean, and you can't be missing chances like that in a title race, and we're making this title race much harder. I think Arsenal beat West Ham, so at the moment it's a I think 8-point gap, right? They'll close that to 5 points, and we'll make it. I think we'll go back to 6. So I think we get a point against City, but then we've got Newcastle next week. I back my team against anyone at Anfield. And to be fair, we got 3 home games in a row from Newcastle. I think it's Newcastle, Southampton, and Everton. But I think Arsenal are going to start to put the pressure on us now. But this is where I get the chest back out. The reason why I still think we win this league is because I don't think Arsenal get something at Forest. I genuinely don't believe that. I think with the attack they have, because what I'm seeing with this Arsenal fan base is they think every game's going to be like Leicester. Yeah, Mourinho gets chucked on. Not every game's going to be like that. And albeit Leicester's quality, you've got a Kudus and a Bowen at the weekend, which I think Arsenal will win. But it's going to be a tougher test than a Leicester. And then you've got Forest, which have been formidable at home, bar a few games. So I still think we still have this league. And Arsenal, at the end of the day, we need to keep going back to this game. They have to come to us. So I'm still confident of winning this league, but I'm starting to crack as well. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I started to get the pressure. Potsy, man. Potsy. What are you saying, bro? Yeah, are you getting a little bit of chest out here? Or you must be a little bit more confident than you was a couple of weeks ago.
I don't know if I am, because as much as I believed Liverpool were going to drop points, I also feel that Arsenal were going to. So I feel like if we had our best fit 11, and if we had the style of play that we were playing perhaps in the 22-23 season where everyone was scared of us, yeah, I think maybe I'd have a little bit of chest. But we can't rely on flinging on Marino, bro. We can't rely on that. We lost at West Ham at home last year, and that was when we had our fit 11, 2-0. So it ain't going to be easy. And as much as I think West Ham are still finding their feet under Potter, they've still got players that can hurt us. Kudus, Bowen, Paqueta. They're a good side when they want to be. And when they can attack, they can attack. Arsenal trying to attack is quite embarrassing at the moment. And as much as I was a fan of what Marino was doing, and I thought there were two very underrated finishes that he scored against Leicester, they ain't going to win you the league. That just isn't enough to win you the league, in my opinion. And the minute Saka went down and we didn't do anything in January, I knew the season was done. In terms of our title race, maybe we can fluke something, but I just can't see it. I think the season's done for Arsenal and we just get Champions League and trophyless again. But a lot of people say that's a defeatist attitude and a defeatist mentality because Liverpool are there for the taking. Now, I've always said this. If Liverpool win this league, we won't remember them as a great Liverpool team in history. We'll remember the season everyone was crap and Liverpool were the best. And that's not disrespecting Liverpool. That's just, I think, speaking factually. I don't think Liverpool have been unbelievable this season. Nobody's catching them. Look at how good they are. They're blitzing teams. Yeah, they've done really well. I think they've been phenomenal in fact. But I don't think I'll look at them and think, wow, they're not playing like even Arsenal were in the last couple of seasons. They're not playing like Man City have in the last decades. They're not playing like the Chelsea of Mourinho or even the Invincibles or Centurions, treble winners of United. We won't remember this Liverpool side. We'll remember the Liverpool side that won the league last more than this one if it does win the league. The other one under Klopp in COVID. And that's mad because it was in COVID, right? So I do feel like that. But when I look at it, I do feel like Arsenal have got to look at this and go, right, we're just going to have to, every single game, try and get these 3 points. Now, we've got West Ham, we've got Forest. I don't think we'll beat Forest. I think that's the one that we will drop points. And then we've got Manchester United and Chelsea. Now, normally on paper, you'd go, oh, that's bloody hard, West Ham, Man United and Chelsea. But this season, you should be beating all 3 of them. They are absolutely abysmal. Let's just be real. You don't look at West Ham once this season and go, oh, I don't fancy playing them. Chelsea at the moment look a mess. Manchester United are embarrassing. If we don't pick up 9 points, you have to sit there and go, yeah, you don't deserve to win the league then, because with an attack or without an attack, you know, we still have got one area. We still have got Trossard. We don't have a striker, really. That's what it is. Saka's our most important player. Martinelli, a lot of people said was rubbish anyway, but I like him. Obviously, Kai Havertz is the focal point. I think it'll be interesting for what Arteta does. I don't know if he's going to start Mikel Merino or if he's going to bring him on. He can't start Raheem Sterling. And I don't know what your boys' thoughts are about this, but I would actually have a full formation change now. I would actually go with a 3 at the back and use some wing backs because we've got so many of them. That's the only part of our squad right now that we're stacked. So I would have with Raya in goal a back 3 of Calafiori, Gabriel, and Saliba. And then I would play Timber and Lewis Skelly as the wing backs with Partey and Rice sitting in there. And then Erdegaard behind Waneri and Trossard. Because you just don't want anywhere near the team Raheem Sterling. He's that bad, man. He's that bad.
Ben White back now.
Ben White is back as well. So you could do something there as well. So we've got everyone fit at the back. We've got Ben White. We've got Tierney still, Zinchenko, Kivior, all these guys that we've got sitting on the bench. I think if we change the formation and make us a little bit more resolute and harder to beat in that respect, then we might have a chance. But trying to score goals is going to be where Arsenal's fall down, in my opinion. And just lastly on it, look, Marino, as much as I like the fact that we actually got him involved against Leicester and he did well, it doesn't mean that's going to happen every week. That's all I'll say to Arsenal fans. This does not mean now Marino is going to go and get 15 goals from now to the end of the season. That's not going to happen, right? He's a midfielder. Yes, he did well. I was really impressed with his play and with both of the goals he scored against Leicester. But let's just be real, boys. Like, without a striker, Arsenal are a bit messed up. But look, we're putting all of our pins on our hopes on a 17-year-old who looks an absolute baller, by the way. I think everyone can admit that. So we've got a great player on our hands here. Let's just hope that we don't ruin him till the end of the season now, because it's going to be a lot relying on him, man.
I got to say, kind of with this guy here, Mark Dennis, man, because like I think Liverpool will drop some more points in this title race. I think everyone does, and I think they might drop a few more than people expect them to, and maybe City could even beat them or get a draw at the weekend, right? The problem that I have though, when I flip that then to Arsenal and say, can Arsenal go? I just don't see Arsenal also not dropping points. No. And like obviously Arsenal now really need to go and win all the games now for the rest of the season, including potentially needing to Anfield and win. So I actually think that Liverpool are now starting to feel the pressure. I think Arnie Slot's comments after the game yesterday showed me that he's a little bit rattled, talking about the Villa fans. I think that is case 101.
When you start speaking like that, yeah.
Well, he's rattled, yeah. He's getting a little nervous. But so I do expect Liverpool to maybe drop some more points. So I do think we do have a title race here. The problem and the main question is nothing then to do with Liverpool, yeah? My question is, can Arsenal capitalise? And I just don't think they will, especially with the injuries. I just don't think they're going to be able to do it.
It's not even just this title running. This is what us Liverpool fans keep saying. Arsenal and Liverpool don't lose often. I think it's 3 losses between both clubs. But what people don't understand exactly, Wolfie, we have been dropping points this season. They just haven't capitalised. That's the thing. People acting like we're not going to say this great club, but like we've been formidable and had a lot of wins. Yeah, we've had a lot of wins, but we've also had a lot of draws. United at home, Arsenal away, Fulham at home. Like they're just the ones off the top of my head.
Forest away.
I mean, they lost against Forest. Like we've picked up bad results, but no one else really seemed to capitalise. And I agree. I just think we will drop more. Like I predict us to beat Villa and Everton, and we drew. So what do I know? The games I think we're going to win, we could probably drop points as well. But I'm happy it come from an Arsenal fan, and Potts is saying to his fan base, look, not every game's going to be like that Leicester game, because I watched that 90 minutes in the first half. If Bowen and Kudus get opportunities that Ndidi got and Andre Ayew and whatnot, it's back in the net. Do you know, you're not going to play that level of opposition every week. And West Ham, there's a West Ham fan in the chat. I know they've got injuries as well, but you still got individuals, because I think Paqueta's actually injured for the game.
Yeah, they haven't got a striker.
Oh, really? Okay, they haven't got a striker, I've been told, but neither are we. So that could be fun. Could be 0-0.
0-0 then, isn't it?
I will say this, Roms, quickly, Roms, on what you said. What I do believe and what I agree with is the draws kill you in title races. Absolutely. 100%. We haven't lost many games either, and we've drew too many, right? But I'll say this. We've got 12 games left, or is it 13? Roughly, right?
12.
In the last 12 games, Arsenal have caught Liverpool up by 2 points with our fully fit squad, right? We've got 2 points off Liverpool in the last 12. And in the next 12, we've got to get 7 off you. And we've got to go to Anfield and beat you.
Yeah, but Liverpool are now starting to feel the pressure and the cracks are starting to show. So that's where I go back to. I think Liverpool will drop points, and I think they might drop more points than people expect. The question is, are you guys going to be able to capitalise on that?
Because you've gained 4. You've gained 4. If you just go head to head in the last 3 games, you're 3 dubs and they're DWD. So you've gained 4 in the last 3. Now you can say if we now need to capitalise on our game in hand, you know. So we win our game in hand. I think we now go 5 behind. Is that right?
You're on 53. They're on 60.
Yeah, you're 56. Yeah.
What I will say, I've not checked. I'm not sure about Arsenal, but our last 12, we play 7 at home, 5 away. So after this City game, it's 3 home games in a row, and the majority of our games for the rest of the season is at home. And Anfield's a place, obviously, Wolfie can laugh. He's the only team that could beat us there. But Anfield's a place where I always back us. And I just think majority of our games being at home in the running, I think that could put us in good stead. Because I think Fulham away is tough. Wolfie, this is where it's back at you. You will know about that. But Fulham away is very tough. So does Potts as well. I think you got
we drew. Yes, very tough. Very tough.
Fulham away is very tough. Chelsea, I don't care what anyone says. Our record the last 3-4 years isn't the greatest there. We've got to go there. But the majority of the other games, Brighton away. But I think by the time we play Brighton, they'll kind of just
be the last game, man. That's the last game.
Yeah, they'll be at the beach.
I don't think all that matters. I think you guys are overdoing the calculators here. If this gap gets to within 2 results, that's when it becomes interesting. Forget the Liverpool. If Liverpool win this amount of games, Arsenal have to get wins every game. It's momentum and pressure. Saw yesterday with Van Dijk what he's saying. If it gets to within 2 games, anytime Arsenal, or let's say Forest quietly, are playing before Liverpool, they'll be cutting that deficit down to 3 points if they win the game, and Liverpool having to go into that game to win it. So anywhere within 2 results is too tight. That's if I was Arsenal right now, that's my objective.
Do you think I'm tapping out too quickly then? Do you boys think I'm tapping out too quickly then? Do you think there's a chance?
2 weeks ago, I would have said no. But now I think the way to context of our last results, I'd say you are now. But one thing we not mention, and I keep having to mention this, is Arsenal and Liverpool, I think, will both have a deep run in the Champions League as well.
Yes,
this will
exactly.
have a big say because I think your two opponents are both Dutch teams, PSV and Feyenoord.
Yeah, we got PSV or Feyenoord, but after that, we're kaput. After that, bro. Once we go,
so are we because we've got Benfica or PSG now. I know who I'd rather. I think we'll do the job against either or, but I'd rather Benfica over a PSG. But after that, Champions League shouldn't be easy. Once you hit the last 8, you're guaranteed to probably get someone hard. So
we're after PSV or Feyenoord, we've got Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, or Atletico Madrid.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
But Dan, the reason I think you're tapping out too early is because of Liverpool's recent history. And I know we all take the mick out of Arsenal with the bottle jobs. Liverpool have been top of the league at Christmas 7 times in recent history and only won it once. Once. Yeah. We saw what they did last season. It was a 3-horse race last season. They were first to tap out. Yeah, they ran out of steam. Let's not forget that this squad is quite thin in Liverpool's squad. They haven't recruited well in the summer. Gravenberch is definitely gassing. I don't think he's been good for the last 2 to 3 games. Yeah, and, bringing in Endo isn't really that level of replacement. I just think get it to within 2. I think we'll find out. This weekend tells you a lot. If Man City beat Liverpool, if Arsenal should beat West Ham, if Forest, I can't.
When's the West Ham game?
Saturday.
Saturday. So
and
you got
that's
the chance
other
to put
thing.
The pressure on.
You put the pressure on. This is what I'm saying. It brings it to within 2. It ain't over. You shouldn't win it. If Liverpool, if you win this title, Liverpool have lost this title. That's how it will be remembered.
Oh yeah,
I'll say it as a Liverpool fan, it will be one of.
I think it'll be worse than our one. I think it'll be worse than our one because look at the state 100%. Of us. We win this league without a striker. My God,
I can't lie. In terms of murals and statues, Arteta will definitely deserve one.
That's the thing. This could do more long-term damage to Arsenal winning this season. Because Arteta will be lauded, and I don't think he's the man still, winner or not.
But do you know what, Wolfie? You make a very
how we won't need a striker. People will say we don't need a striker in the summer. We're all good. Won the league.
Remember when Man City won it without Haaland? Can we one of them ones?
But you made a good point, Wolfie, because even in the Premier League era, we've never won a title race. Never. I remember 08 to 9 with United, that mad United team that did the double Champions League and Premier League the year before. We lost the title race to them. All of the ones against City, we've lost. The only year we won it is we won it by now. I think by now, I saw a graphic the other day. We won 27 out of our first 28 games, which is just ridiculous. But we've never won a title race. And as much as Arsenal's last one was years back, correct me if I'm wrong, Potts, I think it was 98. You were 12 points behind United. The Arsenal had that history of winning title races where we do, but not in the Premier League era, maybe 80s and 70s.
Unfortunately, bro, we've actually bottled the league more than anyone. I think we've bottled it more than Liverpool because I think we were 8 points clear. We were definitely 8 points clear in 2003, and Man United caught us up. We were definitely 8 points clear in the year that City won it, and there was another one as well. I'm sure there was another one we'd lost. Oh, it might have been the year that Eduardo broke his leg in 2008. Because we missed out.
I think we're both on par, Pots. I think both of us.
Yeah, maybe we are.
Maybe Forest are going to win it then.
I was going to say the 2 biggest butlers are sitting there ahead of me. If we can just beat Newcastle, Arsenal, Man City in this next week, Yeah,
I got a question for Roms. Would you take a point this weekend? If I give you a point now, shake my hand, would you take it, or would you think that you need to sort of like be
not even a defeatist attitude, but yes, because I have no right to just go to City and win. Because some people might say, but yeah, look at City's form or whatnot, and look at how you lot are playing. That's not the case anymore. It's not like we're coming off 2-3 in a bounce. Like Wolfie said, our last 4 games, we've only won 1 in all competition. Mm-hmm. So I would take them. I said, I needed to see 7 out of 9 points. Obviously, that's not from where it is possible now, but how I fear the Etihad, and some fans say you need to stop saying that we can go there and win. There's no evidence in the last 9 in the Premier League anyway. We won in the Champions League, and I think we won in the League Cup, one of the legs. But again, overall, City went through. But
if you take 1 point and Arsenal win their game in hand and beat West Ham, if my maths is right, it's down to 3.
Down to 3 points. Yeah. But Liverpool do have a very superior goal difference at the moment.
And my confidence comes from the reason why I take a point. Because I do believe we go on a run after the City game. We've got 3 home games in a row. I do believe then we start to pick up our momentum and then start to shift.
Yeah, but then the narrative changes because Arsenal can sit there and say the title is in our hands. And the fact that they could even say that, forget goal difference. I mean, the goal difference is what, 6 or 7. The title would then be technically in Arsenal's hands. If that point
that is
gap goes
true.
to 3.
Wait. If we draw to City, it would still be in our hands, wouldn't it?
No.
If Arsenal beat West Ham,
if Arsenal beat you, do you see what I'm
you're
saying?
saying
Here?
if they beat us,
We've got to beat you at Anfield. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Wolfie,
But the narrative changes. The fact that they can even say the title is now in our hands, I think, is a huge psychological
Yeah, but
boost
then
for
Wolfie,
them.
that goes both ways because we can just say, well, if we
It doesn't
beat
matter.
them,
It doesn't matter what way it goes for you. It should never have got to a
Yeah,
stage
that-
where
that- that's the
Arsenal
point.
can
That's
say
the
the
point.
title's in their hands.
Fair.
The point is Arsenal then are like, they don't have to watch Liverpool games anymore.
Yeah.
Dan
Just
Potts
gotta
don't
win.
have to watch Liverpool. Dan Potts can watch. I'm not watching Liverpool because I'll just watch Arsenal because if we do our job and win our games for the rest of the season, we'll win the league.
Do you know what,
Yeah.
Wolfie, right? And another reason why I would take a point is when we go to most clubs, I thought we'd get the result against yourself as well. The thing is with the Etihad, I've seen better Liverpool teams go there, albeit City had better teams as well. But I've seen a few games, maybe 1 or 2 off the top of my head, where we deserve to win, and City just somehow just still claw it back. I can't have any right to go. Of course, I want to win because if we beat Man City, speak about narratives. I think we've got over a psychological block, a ground that we never win at. Then I think we go on to actually win the league and go on a crazy run. But we have to beat them. We have.
You know what makes this worse? If you lose to City, forget your goal difference. Then it's 100% in Arsenal's hands.
Yes. And Arsenal, the one team Arsenal batter, and Fox is going to laugh.
And I've seen a little chest suddenly popping up.
Man. I'd love to have a chest popping up.
Am I right on that? Because the gap
11
would technically be 2 points if my maths is right.
Yeah, they'd be on
And they've got to
61,
still play
they'd be on
you.
56, game in hand, 59. Yeah, there'll be 2 points behind.
Yeah.
They've got to go
If we are 2
backs.
points behind Liverpool going into Anfield, I will get a little bit more chest out then.
You would buy right now. You'd take that, wouldn't you, Dan? Like you
Oh
couldn't
my
have dreamt of
God,
that a month
Yeah,
ago.
you'd have
Yeah.
to take that. You'd have to take
Crikey,
that.
I would absolutely. What's going to happen for that? Say that again because that was really too quick for
They
my mind.
just got
If
to
they
lose
lose to
just gotta
Man
lose this
City,
weekend.
that's it. That's it. If they lose to Man
Lose,
City and you win against West Ham and you game in hand, which I think is the Chelsea game, the title is in your hands.
Yeah, that is
Oh my God,
absolute.
I'm
facts.
actually getting nervous.
LB, I've always liked you, bro. Do a brother a favor, please, LB.
Can we just have a day off, man? Focus on that thing.
I don't know what I want this weekend, to be honest with you.
You wanna lose because you hate Arsenal fans. That's what it is.
I don't really like Liverpool either, to
But
be
they don't
honest
like
with you.
Liverpool as well.
Do you know what I mean? I don't know what I want this weekend, bro. It's just a
I
crisis.
tell you,
alone.
if Arsenal win this league, real talk, right? If Arsenal win this league, the content creation world and the social media won't ever be the same again. I tell you this now. Trust me, you boys will have to either go in hiding or just absolutely lap it up and just deal with it. Do you know what I mean?
I think I'm going in hiding if it happens. Honestly, I'd have to do. The amount of stick
Mate,
I've given you and your fans.
The streets aren't ready if we win this league. Let me tell you
If
this.
we
And
just
that's coming from
if
me,
we-
who's quite chill with it. Trust me, some of these guys I know. Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
If we just made this Man City Liverpool game the biggest game of the season now, because
Maybe.
of that narrative.
It probably is.
100%. LB said
Wow.
it a couple of weeks ago. Our next every game now for us is probably our biggest game of the season. Every game.
But this one's the biggest.
But
I
don't
hate
understand.
to be like pull it down on it, but I think Liverpool beat Man City quite comfortably. I think
I
the way Man
Comfortably?
City are,
don't.
I think the way Man City are, I just feel like they'll open up and Liverpool.
It depends on the starting
Pots.
11, bro. If he puts the same starting 11 out as he did against Newcastle, obviously without Stones because he's injured, then I think we've got a
Pots.
chance. But if he plays the starting 11 from yesterday, I think we'll get beat.
Just before you go, Poch, you see how you lot were seconds away and City just found a way. They've been doing either they spank us there or they'll salvage a draw. Like there's no real in between. And I just think, Wolfie, if we beat Manchester City, I'll tell you why. Forget even the context of the title race.
Oh, that's
the reason why it's
done,
so
yeah.
massive. Say that again.
Yeah, you win, it's done.
Yeah, because it's a psychological factor. We never win there. We just never win there. So I think what that will do for the players, our title winning team doesn't know. All of our players, I think this current squad, none of them have won at the Etihad in the league. They don't know what it's like to win there. So what that would do for the morale of our team would be crazy.
Yeah, but Ron, you know the scenario I
if
can see.
if Man City get rolled over by Liverpool, I'll know this rivalry is absolute mess. It's just a joke.
The love
That's what it
rivalry.
is.
The love
Yeah, but
rivalry.
you know what I can see? I can see Man City winning. But then the pressure on Arsenal at Forest midweek next week.
Well, I
Ooh,
don't
is
think
that
we'll beat you.
midweek
I
game?
don't think we'll beat you, Wolfie. I really
I
don't
think they
we'll
draw
beat
to you, lot. Draw or lose.
I
Yeah,
think
but
we
you
might
just gotta go
even
there
lose.
and just shit out a win, bro. That's it. You just got to
Yeah,
shit out
just
the
a
win.
1-0. We're just gonna have to take some 1-0s and 2-1s.
1-0 for the
Wow.
Arsenal, innit? You
Title
got
race
shit
could
out
get
it.
interesting. Or we're
When
just
is that game?
overhyping
When is
it
that
for
Forest
nothing.
match? When is that Forest game?
Wednesday.
Do you know what, Potts? Though?
Ooh,
With
talk
all of
to
this,
me.
with all of this talk, yeah, and you kind of alluded to it. With all this, Liverpool cracking in that. Arsenal just need to do their job against West Ham. We're looking at further games. You just need to do the job against West Ham.
Yeah.
And what Arsenal do is,
Yeah.
Arsenal do this. Liverpool have just drawn. Oh, let's go and draw ourselves now. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
But what is funny is we like had this real like mad podcast today. Next week we could be on here going, oh, why did we hype all that up? It's over. Liverpool have won it. Arsenal are shit. Do you know what I mean? Or we could be like, wow, this is mad. This is the beauty of football, I suppose. But yeah, it's absolutely mad.
No, that's crazy.
Listen, LB, I've got to shoot, bro. I'm really sorry.
No, don't worry about it, bro.
Big up
man.
to you.
Big up
to you guys,
Foxy.
man. And big up to the chat. Make sure you hit like and subscribe, yeah? See you next
Big
time.
up, man.
In a bit, boys.
Big up,
In a bit.
Yeah. Big up to you, man. Make sure you guys are subbed up to a 12-man podcast. Let me hit some of these super chats, lads. Big up to Cat Fat. Says, LB, you seen the list of names for our summer clear out? Yeah, I've seen the list, man. It's the same list that I basically put out last night, innit? Yeah, listen, we're not going to get rid of them all. You know what I mean? I'm just saying they're the players and we need to get rid of the majority of them. But yeah, let's see what happens, man. Big up to LB. Says, Liverpool's midfield looks leggy as fuck. The bottle is on, boys, says LB with the 2. Natalie says, Mo Salah is our saving grace. He's stepped up, says Natalie.
Saving us.
Yeah, no, this is facts, man. Big up to Patrick, bro. Says we'll beat Liverpool. Watch. Listen, I'll be real. I want to win, man. I don't really go into games thinking, oh, let's lose so this can happen. Nah, fuck that
win,
shit.
man.
I want to win, mate. And like, Rom's got to deal with that, innit? I'm not being responsible. You know what I mean? It's not my fault.
LB, I hate this favor stuff. No, you just win your games. Forget other people doing favors for you. We just need to win our games. That's all.
No, that's the truth, man. That's the truth. And big up to LB as well. Says City will do Liverpool 3-1 at the Etihad. We'll see, man. We'll see. Wolfie, I mean, we've obviously touched on Forest a little bit, but not too much. Are you just a little bit too far behind, you think, in this title race now? Because I'm looking at you now on 47 points, bro. I look at you and think, I just don't think there's enough games left, mate.
I just think this week either cements it, rubber stamps it that we're out because we got Newcastle, Arsenal, and then your boys. It's a big
your next 3
week.
games. Wow.
Yeah, and that's all in the space of a week, isn't it?
And you pretty much have to win all 3 of them. Let's be honest.
Yeah, if we win all 3 of them, like I'll be unbearable. Put it that way, right? Because I can see us maybe. Like I'll tell you what. Before that Villa game, I had the white flag up. I was ready to wave it. There was just something about that Villa game that just made me think, you know what? The drop points against Everton, 1 win in 4, few cracks showing, but it's just this week is too big. I don't think we can come out of it in 9 points. I don't think we beat Newcastle. I just don't. The only thing going for us against Newcastle is the fact that they seem to be repeating history. When they got to the Carabao Cup final 2 seasons ago, they lost every game up to the final and then sorted their form out. And I thought against Man City, they looked really, really poor.
Wolfie, correct me if I'm wrong. Newcastle are the only team to beat you at home in the league. I think it's
Fulham as well.
Oh, they did. I didn't know Fulham Jenny did a double. No trolling, but I remember Newcastle came to City ground and they were quite convincing.
Yeah, well, they beat us on penalties, which doesn't count, FIFA rules, in the Carabao Cup because we drew them in the first round, or the first round we were in, and then they beat us 3-1 after we had taken the lead. And Joe Linton
that was on a Sunday, I think.
He was unplayable that second half. So Newcastle did really well, but we beat them 3-1 last season at St James's when we were crap. And Chris Wood scored that hat trick. I don't know if you remember. He just absolutely busted me against his old club. So there's both teams are coming into this in not great, mental shape in terms of morale and things. They've just held 4 to Man City. We've lost to Fulham, but we always lose to Fulham, man. Fulham are like our second bogey team in the league. So look, if we lose this weekend, it's done. If we go and win these next 3 games, I don't know what the maths is on that. That would put us on 55 points. It's still a stretch.
Where do you play City? Etihad or City?
Home.
Right. If I had to predict
both Arsenal and City back to back at home.
I think if I had to predict your next 3, I think you beat Newcastle just for the simple fact I think they're just concentrating on the cup final against us. I just think they're fixated because for them to not even score against this City team, I know obviously Pep did some tactical changes. Obviously, Marmoush had the game of his life, but at least score a couple of goals. Everyone's going to the Etihad and at least scoring. The fact that City kept
we didn't, bro, but I like where you're going. Carry on.
fair, and we have to this weekend. I'm out. I've jinxed it now, but I think you beat Newcastle this weekend because I just think they're fixated on the Carabao Cup final. I think you draw to Arsenal. I wouldn't be surprised if you win. I don't think Arsenal win at all, but I think it's either a Forest win or a draw. But I can see that kind of being a score draw. Same thing that we got. And then I think you beat City at the City ground. Generally, I think you get 7 out of your next 9, which is quite
7
decent.
would keep the white flag down for me. I do. My biggest worry about these 3 games is this Newcastle one. I got a feeling we beat Arsenal. I don't know why. I've just got a feeling we beat Arsenal. If you mess up against City, I just think Arsenal under pressure will crack more. Because they did that. We saw it 2 years ago at Forest again when we beat them 1-0 and that sealed the title for City. That mentality's not there for them. I feel like at the moment Arsenal are in free flow. They don't expect to catch you. If that dial changes, if that needle moves, and suddenly they're like, "Oh crap, we can win this." Do you know what I mean? It's where their mentality switches. With City, I don't know what City turn up. I
got to say though as well, Wolfie, if you do get those 7 points, as you said, that solidifies Champions League football.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
because for me now, I feel like if I'm being honest, I think Forest are out of the race. Yeah, but top 4, you're still in there, and obviously still have a great chance of doing it. I think if you get 7 points out your next 3 games, I think that's pretty much certified.
You know what? Little Tim's has a point, right? Big up Little Tim, but he said they were on a good run and we sat them up earlier this season. That's at the Emirates. If you look at their record, you beat them in the FA Cup when you're in the Championship, didn't you, Wolfie? You beat them a couple seasons ago. I think they beat you last season. I remember
we drew with them the season we came up at home when they were red hot.
Wait, how many seasons have you been in the Prem now? 3?
This is the 3rd, yeah.
Because I know 1 year you beat them our Nini. It was a 1-0 win. Do you remember that season towards the end?
No, we didn't beat City. City you're talking about. Oh, sorry, Arsenal.
No, Arsenal. I'm on about Arsenal.
Yeah. Arsenal, we beat. That was the one that killed their league. That gave it to City.
And then you beat them FA Cup. Their record in the last, I think they've only won 1 in the last 3. So
it's not good. And then last season we lost 2-1 because Matt Turner decided to give Gabriel
do something. Yeah, exactly. He was their agent, innit? Because I think
exactly double agent. So this is Arsenal at Forest is not comfortable for them ever.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why I just feel confident about this Arsenal one. I would guess that win they got last season against us was their first for quite a bit at the City ground. So, I don't know, man. I don't think we're in it, but I think we can now go back to being that quiet underdog that no one's going to talk about. That suddenly maybe in a few games' time people look at it like, well, hold on, mathematically it's still on. So I think it's Liverpool's to lose, but if you lose to City, wow,
bro, I can't believe it, man. If Forest get Champions League, wow, that's insane. That's unbelievable.
But that's even tight, LB. When you look at the gap to us, even down to still Fulham, Villa in 9th, talking 39 to 47.
Yeah, but you're 4 points ahead of. You're 4 points ahead of Chelsea in 6, and obviously it is top 5 this year that's going to get Champions League. Yeah. So I just think you have to collapse. And again, it's the same thing with Arsenal with the title race. Even if you drop points, do you trust Newcastle to go on a winning run or Chelsea to go on a running run?
They've got Liverpool after you got them next.
Exactly.
As well,
so I just think that you just need to do the thing that City need to do: 2 wins, draw, 2 wins, lost, 2 wins, draw. Just keep getting a few wins now and again, and that'll just get you top 4, man, and you'll be chilling, innit?
Yeah,
you'll be chilling. Let me hit some of these chats, man. Big up to Fat again. Says, what I've seen City win back the league in 2025, 2026. Bro, I reckon we will, because I reckon this club will do what it needs to do this summer and buy the players that it needs to buy. Yeah, I mean, because I have full faith in this club to do what it needs to do. Just as I said, in January, I think they'll spend a lot of money because we're a mess. And in the summer, I think they'll go out and spend even more money. I think 300 million is not out of the realms of possibility. And if they do that and they can land back a Verts and get, a couple of new players, then we can definitely do it. The question will be is, can we get them all to gel quickly? you know what I mean, and get off to a quick start, or will the first 10, 15 games be bad and then we're playing catch up?
And to chuck this spanner in the works as well, Obi, you have the Club World Cup, and I think it's only a week or two's break from the season.
I think it's 2 weeks.
Yeah, you and Chelsea might have that fatigue, so yeah, you have to be careful.
Or
that's why we got to build a big squad.
Point.
Well, it depends which way you look at it. You could be fresh, or they could be just not just could be knackered. So we got to build a big squad this summer, man. We got to build a big squad so we can properly rotate going into next year, 100%. Big up to Connor, man. Arsenal fan says, great panel, LB. Potts always talking sense about football. Can't comprehend how he is negative. Started to really warm up to Wolfie. Such a wind up, says Connor.
Yeah,
wind up
like a rash, man. You get used to it eventually.
Nah, big up, man. Nah, Wolfie's class, man. Big up to you, Connor, bro. Hopefully you're well, man. And big up to ALX as well. Except for Wirtz, what other transfers would you want? Me personally, I need a right back. I think I need a centre back. I need an all-round midfielder, and then I probably need a goalkeeper replacement if Ederson leaves. And maybe market opportunities, I might look at a winger. Maybe, but if I'm not signing no young winger. If I'm signing a winger, it's going to be top class winger, you know. But yeah, I'm looking at goalkeeper, right back, centre back, two midfielders. But they all need to be quality. This is why it costs a lot of money, because I'm not looking at Kovacic's, Nunez's. I'm looking at like the Wirtz's, the proper midfielders, a proper solid right back to replace the greatest right back in the Premier League history, a solid centre back to play next to Diaz if Huzanov can't step up to the plate. Yeah, and then obviously Ederson replacement is going to cost me 40 million minimum, maybe 60 if you go and get in Costa. So that's the problem with this summer is, you know, you need players, yeah, but you also need to spend a lot of money on these players because we're buying first teamers, not rotational options, which we've done in the last couple of years.
Problem with that, LB, how long does that take to click?
Well, that's what I just said, isn't it? That's the problem. Is how long will it take to gel? You know, it could take a while. You know, it could start off great. You don't know. It's a risk, but that's what happens when you leave a rebuild to where you're needing to buy. You know, but if we buy 5 players plus the 4 that we've just bought, that's 9 players in 2 windows. That's a risk. That's what happens when you leave the rebuild too long. Yeah. And that's what we've done, isn't it? We should have done it. We should have started it after the treble year. We didn't. We should have done it this summer. We didn't. And now we're at the point where we've got to get rid of potentially 9 players from this squad because they're all past it for various different reasons. And
that's why I think Liverpool's summer could make or break them. With potentially 100%. Losing Salah, Van Dijk, Trent. 100%. I can't see FSG putting that hand in the pocket that deeply.
It's not even just Salah, Van Dijk, and Trent, and the fact we're not going to recoup anything for them. We're probably going to have an exodus in our front line because Nunez is gone. I think that's a definite. He is gone. Not even because of last night. It's old news. I think either Jota or Chiesa leave. I'll probably lean more to Chiesa. I think we'll give Jota 1 more year. Jota, Gakpo are the only 2 definites in our front 6 that actually stay. Salah, you don't know yet. And I think
Diaz goes.
Sorry. Diaz and Nunez, I think, will go. Okay. Jota and Diaz, Nunez, and Chiesa, I think all 3 of them go. So we only keep Gakpo and Jota, in my opinion. But
problem is Jota, he's too injury prone. He's too injury prone, isn't he?
I think you can't sell your whole front line. That's why I think we're going to keep him. You can't have too much wholesale changes. But this summer's going to be a make or break. And this is why I want this Premier League so badly, because I know my owners. I don't know when we're going to get this next. So we need this. And at least I can say, I want to go back to back, right? But if we'll still win the Premier League season, have a dreadful season next year, or a subpar, just get top 4 in maybe win I can at least say, cool, off the back of last season, we still won the league. But I know what my owners are like. So we need this one. But I still have belief 1 out of the 3 do stay. I think 2 will leave, which will still be detrimental to us. But I think 1 out of the 3, either Van Dijk or Salah stay. Trent's gone. I said this from October. Trent is gone. Van Dijk or Salah, I think 1 of them stay. But I'm starting to think not both, because why is it taking this long? Honestly, it's crazy.
It's fucked, isn't it? Yeah, mad. Yeah. All right, and boys, buzzing. Anything else from you lads?
Just you must, LB. You must this week.
We must avoid defeat. We avoid defeat, man. I've still got top 4 ambitions. Big up to Cat Fat says, where the fuck is Echeverri? Messi. He's in Argentina, bro. I imagine he's going to come back end of this week, maybe the weekend, maybe early next week. I think City probably let him have some time off and have a week off or something, you know, because it's been hammed out for a good couple of weeks at that tournament. So, yeah, man. But yeah, he's in Argentina at the moment. All right. Big up, man. Roms, let's see what happens this weekend, bro. You know what I mean? Let's go, bro.
We have to. Come on. We have to get this big scout, man.
Don't
I'm
sound
nervous.
confident, bro. You don't sound confident.
I'll be real. I can't put on the front. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. Honestly, I'm nervous, man.
Madness. Yo, big up to you, man. Big up to Wolfie as well. As always,
yeah,
man. Forest Fan TV. And yeah, big up Potsy, obviously. It's a busy day today for Potsy, I think. So yeah, it's a dip. But yeah, big up to you, lads. Big up to you guys in the chat as well. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you drop a like on the way out as well, innit? Get those likes up, man. Where we at? We need one person to hit 300 likes. So hit that thumbs up button. And Nobbins is going live right now, doing a bit of a post-mortem on yesterday. So I'll redirect you to Nobbins, man. And yeah, I'll catch you later for another stream. Peace out.